Hi, I, 17, female, am freaking out right now and don't know what to do. My sister, 25, female, has turned into a crazy witch, and somehow I'm the one paying for it. This post may come off as a little frazzled because that's exactly what I'm feeling right now. I'm kind of all over the place because my parents are threatening to make me homeless if I don't do what they want. So last week was my cousin Jolene's 35 female wedding. Everyone had been super excited about the event because it was the first wedding in the family in years. I was also very happy because Jolene is my favorite cousin, and I had been a bridesmaid at her wedding. But what was supposed to be the best day of her life was almost ruined because of my sister Carla, 25, female. For the record, my sister is like 5 months pregnant right now. She has been acting like a lunatic ever since she declared her pregnancy. Now listen, my sister has always been some sort of crazy person, which is why we are not even close. She has some major problems with jealousy and sharing attention. She hates everyone in her life and constantly throws tantrums to get her way. My parents had done very little to correct her behavior because they had her after trying for a long time. There's me, but I get overshadowed by my sister very often. It's not like she has something specifically against me. She's like that with everyone. No one in the extended family actually likes her. She had stopped parties, destroyed major events, and even ruined some of my own events for fun or whatever. She was overall a very horrible woman, but she got worse after getting pregnant. She's having her first grandchild in the family. So, my parents have been pampering her to no end. By the way, she doesn't have a job, lives with our parents, and the baby daddy has already bailed, so she is completely useless and dependent on my parents. She is absolutely milking this pregnancy because my parents are letting her get away with anything. Carla would throw away my food, steal my makeup, lock me out of the house, hide my laptop, and even randomly trip me in the house. She has become completely unbearable. Anytime someone tries to confront her, she bursts into tears and says that she's just hormonal and couldn't control herself. Over time, my parents have started using this excuse as well. Carla had been trying to sabotage Jolene's wedding for a while. She had randomly tried on wedding dresses while Jolene was wedding shopping and showed up to places where she wasn't invited. She even tried to throw a tantrum when Jolene picked me as a bridesmaid, but not her. Hell, Carla even demanded that Jolene let her walk down the aisle in a white dress so that she could feel special. Jolene and the rest of the family were absolutely sick of her, but only invited her because my parents wouldn't attend without her. I think now you understand what kind of woman my sister is. So, on the day of the wedding, my parents had assured everyone that they would keep an eye on Carla and not let her do something stupid. Well, they could only control her till the reception. When the bride and groom were taking photos after the ceremony, my aunt and I caught Carla trying to pour chocolate sauce over Jolene's wedding cake. Why? Because Carla didn't like Jolene's wedding cake. It wasn't her preferred flavor. My sister loves chocolate, while both Jolene and her husband hate it. So they had decided to go with a coconut and custard filling with vanilla icing. Carla apparently thought that it was okay to pour over an entire bottle of Hershey's chocolate syrup all over the wedding cake. I literally had to hold her in place while my aunt snatched the bottle out of her hands. Chaos ensued because my sister started crying and claimed that we attacked her for nothing. People came, everyone got involved, and ultimately Jolene heard about it too. She was pissed, and her husband straight up said that Carla can't be at the wedding anymore. Carla started to cry and claimed that she was just hormonal and had a craving for chocolate, so she acted out of impulse. My mom and dad also stupidly parroted Carla's excuses, although now I think it was more to make people less mad at them. Well, whatever their reasoning was, it didn't work. Carla got kicked out despite my parents saying that they would leave if she did. I stayed behind though, because there was no way I would miss Jolene's wedding. Well, things started to fall apart after the wedding was over. Everyone, except my parents, is super mad at my sister. They have been criticizing her and telling her that she won't be invited to any family event in the future. Jolene is also super mad at Carla and my parents and has said that she would never forgive them for almost ruining her wedding. My parents have been under a lot of pressure from everyone because they are still trying to excuse Carla's behavior and claim that she did this because her hormones were out of whack. Carla doesn't really care that people are insulting her and our parents. I think she's just happy to get the attention and have the chance to upset Jolene on her wedding day. But my parents are not reacting to this ostracization that well. Instead of taking this matter seriously and asking my sister to stop her craziness, they are telling me to convince Jolene that Carla was uncontrollable because of her hormones. Mind you, Carla hasn't even apologized to Jolene and doesn't think that she should because she was hormonal and didn't mean it. My parents are somehow sure that the family would forgive them if Jolene did, so they're now demanding that I make Jolene accept their ridiculous excuses, and I let this go. I have refused to support their nonsense excuse and told them that they need to stop covering for my crazy sister. That didn't sit well with them either. Now they're threatening to kick me out if I don't talk to Jolene and make her forgive Carla. They've been pressuring and threatening me since last week. It's become unbearable staying home now. I'm also scared that they will really kick me out and I would have no place to go. Do you guys have some advice on how to deal with this situation? I would really use some guidance from an adult here. I don't want to get the extended family involved right now, so this is the only place where I can get some good advice. Edit. I already mentioned that my sister is the golden child, so I don't see why you guys are surprised that my parents are penalizing me for her actions. They have always been this way. You guys have been telling me that I should be more mad, but I am sort of used to this nonsense now. The only reason I came here is that my parents are threatening to kick me out. I would be happy to stay the hell away from my family, but I am not old enough to do that. I'm still 17, so I can't really find a place for myself. It's illegal to let minors rent a place. Besides, I don't make enough money to get my own rented apartment. I could probably crash at my friend's place, but I highly doubt that her parents would feed me and house me for free for an entire year. I don't even know why my parents think I would be able to convince my cousin. I have a guess that it's because Jolene and I are very close. She's literally the sister I should have had. So now you know why my parents thought that I could convince Jolene to chill out. But they refuse to understand that their logic is completely flawed. Besides, Jolene isn't the only one who's pissed at my sister. Carla is being ostracized because she had messed up with everyone, and now no one has any patience for her. Convincing Jolene wouldn't do them any good because everyone else would still be mad. My parents are so hell bent on damage control that they are grasping at straws now. I just don't understand why I am the one suffering the most here when I am not even remotely involved in this mess. I know that you guys want me to tell the extended family about my parents' ultimatums, but I am a little scared of what will happen once I open my mouth. You know that everyone is pretty mad at Carla and my parents too. It will probably turn into a big drama, and I am trying to de escalate the situation instead of making it worse. But of course, The worst case scenario is that I call someone and tell them what my parents are doing. Update 1. Hi guys, thank you so much for chiming in and offering your 2 cents on my problem. I don't mean this in a sarcastic way at all. You guys have some really good advice. Although some of you seem to think that my post was fake or made up or whatever. Girl, I wish this post were made up because then I wouldn't have to worry about where I will sleep if my parents actually kick me out. I think the most controversial part of my post has been the fact that my parents are trying to get me to convince Jolene to forgive Carla. Some of you really can't seem to grasp that idea when I explain in the edit that we are extremely close. A lot of you really wanted me to elaborate on my relationship with Jolene. I know that she is much older than me, but she has adored me since I was a child. I used to look up to her a lot because my own sister is an absolute train wreck. Yeah, initially I tried to bond with my sister, but she rarely had a good thing to say to or about me. My parents didn't push us very hard because they couldn't handle my sister's horrible temper tantrums. Besides, they were so invested in Carla that they rarely stopped to think about what was going on with my life. I got so close to Jolene because she was the one who babysat me when my parents were busy. I don't have to tell you that my sister absolutely refused to look after me, even if it was for 15 minutes. So it was Jolene who always came by and looked after me. My cousin absolutely loves me and is more like a sister to me than my own sister. My parents never really noticed our closeness in the beginning. They were just happy that Jolene never said no to babysitting me and never asked for a lot of compensation. They eventually noticed that Jolene was spending more time with me and actually adored me. Well, I think they noticed it because my sister went complaining to them about how Jolene always took me out and gave me some small gifts while she got nothing. This started when I was 12 or so. Jolene was already past college and had a job that she frequently took me out to. Mind you, my sister was already a pretty grown-up woman, so it was ridiculous that she complained about Jolene getting me things. Still, my parents had tried to make Jolene take my sister along as well. Thankfully, Jolene made it clear that she wasn't going to splurge on a completely grown woman who has never been nice to her. So that's the deal with me and Jolene. Jolene isn't the family favorite or anything. Everyone is mad at Carla because she has ruined a lot of events before and suffered absolutely no consequences for her actions. I mean, she did get a few punishments here and there, but my parents didn't want to deal with her tantrums when they tried to punish her. Once she was past 18, she was already out of hand, and my parents were in no place to punish or reprimand her. They would just say, "You know how she is," and move on. The wedding wasn't an isolated incident at all. That's why everyone is so mad. But my parents, of course, don't see it that way. Last night, they gave me a deadline of 2 days, so I have to make Jolene forgive Carla in 2 days, or they will kick me out. I don't know how serious they are, but I am not taking chances anymore. You guys are right that I should start talking to people and telling them what's going on. Jolene is on her honeymoon, so I don't want to disturb her right now. Maybe I will talk to my grandma and my aunts and tell them what's going on. I will definitely make an update after I do that. Update 2. Guys, I am already out of the house. I'm staying with my aunt right now. This is Jolene's mother, by the way. Some of you may be surprised, while some of you probably saw this coming. I was really hoping that my aunt and grandma would be able to talk some sense into my parents. I was really hoping that my aunt and grandma would be able to talk some sense into my parents. I was hoping that my parents would stop threatening me and find some other way to appease the extended family. I actually didn't want to inconvenience anyone and have them take me in, but I was left with no choice. A day after I made the last update, I came home from school to find my clothes burning in the backyard. I'll give you one guess to name who did it. Yup, it was my crazy sister. She went to my room when I was at school, got some of my clothes and even some makeup, and then burned them right before I was supposed to come home. She timed it just right so that I could see my stuff burning, but had no time to salvage anything. She was also standing on the porch and smirking at me as if she had just done something praiseworthy. At that point, I had had enough. I also started to feel a little scared because my sister was truly acting unhinged. Before this incident, she usually verbally lashed out at me. Burning my stuff is a step ahead. I don't want to sit around and find out what was next. So, after my sister went into the house, I called Grandma, told her everything. I also broke down crying because I was actually pretty shaken up from what I just saw. I didn't want to go back into the house and be alone with my sister. Dad was at work and my mom's car was missing, so I knew she wasn't home. I called Grandma and she called my aunt, who immediately came to the house. My Aunt Lena, 56, female, was pretty pissed off when she got out of her car. My mom, who was looking very confused at the situation, was asking what was going on. I'll spare you the details about what happened next, but yeah, I am now at my grandma's house. My aunt brought me here. She also tore into my mom and told her that she had better wake up before my crazy sister did something that would land her in jail. Mom did try to stop me from leaving, but my aunt actually threatened to fight her if she tried something stupid. Aunt Lena brought me here, and Grandma pretty much told me that she will make sure I live with her now. Honestly, I don't feel safe going back home anyway. Also, I am super mad at my parents because my mother was still refusing to accept that Carla had destroyed my stuff. I don't want to be around them right now. I don't know if I will actually stay with Grandma from now on. I'm letting the elders sort this out. I am already exhausted from all this drama and just need a break. My aunt and Grandma are mostly talking about things now. Sorry, but I don't have any more updates right now because this thing happened this afternoon and now it's like 6 o'clock. It feels weird being at Grandma's, but it's better than staying at home. Update 3. Okay, wow. I didn't expect you guys to be so nice to me. Some of you DM'd me and offered me some gift cards to buy new clothes because my stuff was destroyed. The generosity of strangers will never stop amazing me. I guess it could be because I'm just a stupid teen, but I really didn't know that people could be so nice to someone they don't even know. I really appreciate the offer, but I don't really need anything right now. I'm in the process of getting my stuff replaced already. My aunt took me shopping today and bought me a lot of stuff. She particularly told me to splurge because the money is coming from my parents' pocket. Actually, after I made my last post, my mom and dad came to my grandma's place to talk things out. My aunt was also there, so it was like a small meeting took place. My mom was crying the entire time, and my dad didn't look any better. I don't know the exact details of what was discussed because I was called in an hour after they started to talk. My parents were begging to see me, so my aunt came and got me. I really didn't want to talk to them because I thought they would just take my delusional sister's side again. But they actually apologized to me for what happened. My mom said that she was in complete denial and didn't want to believe that Carla would go that far. After me and Aunt Lena left, she checked the outdoor cameras and saw my sister do exactly what we said she did. My mom had immediately called my dad and told him what had happened. He came home early and confronted Carla about what she did. My dear sister, of course, started the waterworks and blamed her actions on her hormones. I don't know what happened next, but my parents assured me that they would be taking this case seriously. They're trying to take her to a therapist, but I doubt she will go. Also, my parents didn't have to tell me, but I know that my sister is going to use the child as leverage. My parents would never abandon their grandkid, let alone the first one. They wanted me to come home, but I clearly told them that I wouldn't set foot in the house as long as my sister is there. They looked sad but didn't push me. Also, they suggested taking me shopping to get me some new stuff, but my aunt quickly stepped in and said that she will do that. So they don't need to bother. That's when my parents told my aunt that they would pay her whatever the total amount was. And my aunt and grandma were giving them angry stares the entire time, by the way. So that's where we're at right now. Looks like I will be here with grandma for a while. It doesn't look like my parents would bother grandma for keeping me. They also seem a little remorseful, which is good, but I don't know how long that will last. I have to wait and see, I guess. Update 4. You will not believe what happened in the last few days. I wasn't going to come back with an update because I thought the problem was solved and this would be my new normal. But boy, have things changed. This update is a little wild, so read at your own risk. So you guys must remember how Jolene was on her honeymoon. So she wasn't bothered about what was going on. Well, my aunt told her the full story in a few days. Jolene was absolutely enraged and did something I never expected her to do. She contacted Carla's ex and talked to him about what was going on. Carla's ex actually knows all of us personally because he had joined a lot of family gatherings. We were a little surprised that he bailed on the baby because he seemed like a nice guy. Well, it turns out my sister had been lying to all of us. Her ex wasn't even the baby's father, so my sister had been cheating on the guy with multiple men, and they broke up a few months before my sister got pregnant. He told Jolene that there was no way the baby was his. He couldn't deal with Carla's crazy and her cheating ways, so he left. He also knew that Carla would spin another tale for us, so he just had all of our numbers blocked and moved on. That's why no one could contact him. Jolene reached out to him through social media. Carla's ex really felt bad for me and told her the entire truth. She also sent screenshots of texts between him and Carla, and apparently they are not good. Jolene got my parents involved and told them the truth. My parents were absolutely speechless. This time, they were also pretty mad. From what I hear, my parents had been trying to get Carla to therapy, but she wasn't budging. After hearing all the stunts Carla pulled, they gave her an ultimatum to get out and find a job, or they would contact CPS and give them all the proof of her unhinged behavior. There had been a lot of fighting going on, and ultimately Carla got a job and moved out. My parents only agreed to pay for the baby and nothing else. She had, of course, tried to reach out to me to curse me out or something. Thankfully, I had her phone number blocked from the moment I left the house. After Carla left, my parents did beg me to come back home, but I simply didn't feel comfortable anymore. I know that there is still a chance that Carla would come back begging and my parents would take her back because of their grandchild. Thankfully, my parents are being respectful of my decision and not pushing me to go home. We have also started family therapy together and things are looking good. I am starting to think that I would be able to have a decent relationship with my parents after all. But again, time will tell. My parents haven't cut contact with Carla, though. They don't trust her to take care of the kid once he's born. So they're staying in touch and making sure that my sister isn't messing up too much. They are also ready to step in and get CPS involved if things get bad. So you guys don't have to worry about the safety of the baby. A lot of you have been telling me that my sister may have bipolar disorder. It kind of sounds like her, but I can't say for sure. She's still refusing to see a therapist, and it's hard to force someone to go to therapy. So it's a dead end for now. I only hope that she stays away from me and doesn't end up hurting her child. Deep down, I care for my nephew, but unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to have a relationship with him. It makes me sad, but I guess it is what it is. I already wasted a lot of time on this mess, and I don't want to continue doing that. Life is peaceful at my grandma's, so I think this is how things will be from now on. I don't know if there will be any more problems now, but I will keep you guys posted if something happens again. Update 5. Hi there. I am not sure if anyone is interested in an update anymore, or if anyone even remembers this post. In case any of you have been wondering what happened after my previous update, you can just read this one. This is also going to be my final update because I didn't plan on coming back to this post. Maybe I will even delete it because I don't want it on my account anymore. So I have a nephew now. Carla gave birth to a boy, in case you guys were wondering. Thankfully, I'm able to have a relationship with the child because Carla doesn't have custody anymore. My nephew is being raised by my parents now. Carla has been going through a psychiatric evaluation because of what she did before giving birth. She's also looking at a bit of jail time and fines. So, you know that my parents sort of kicked Carla out and only offered to pay for the baby. Well, Carla tried her luck at looking for work and all, but minimum wage jobs weren't up her alley. She was living with a friend who didn't want to host her anymore. She may have become a little desperate when she saw that she would have to fend for herself. She wasn't ready to accept that, though, so my crazy sister started to harass her ex. Please remember that this man isn't even the baby daddy. My sister just targeted him because he had a stable job and had taken good care of her when they were together. She started to spread rumors that he was the father and that he was abandoning their child. The ex ended up suing my sister for defamation because her antics were seriously harming his reputation. My sister went crazy after being sued and ended up attacking her ex when he was leaving work. There was some mild physical violence involved, but the threats she made actually landed her in the psych ward. She will go to court as well and may be looking at a hefty fine, among other things. There was no way CPS would allow my sister to keep her son after all this, so as soon as she gave birth, he was handed over to my parents. My parents are a little overwhelmed, but trying to adjust to the baby in the house. I have been going over there to help, but I mostly stay with my grandma now. Things with my parents are a little better right now, so I am hopeful for the future. But I don't see myself resuming contact with my sister after this. It looks like she won't be around for long anyway. It's also a little unlikely that she would be given back custody of her child because my sister is still acting up and being crazy. There's also the fact that she still has no job and is highly unlikely to get one anytime soon. We've been on the hunt for the baby daddy, but no success there. It's difficult to make my sister talk anyway, so it doesn't look like we would be able to narrow it down to anyone right now. It doesn't really matter, I guess. My nephew has my parents and even me for support. I love the little guy already, despite my history with his mother. I know better than to punish an innocent child for his mother's actions. So that's where we are at right now. I usually stay busy with schoolwork or watching the baby when my parents need a break. That's how I am living right now. Jolene is actually also pregnant, so I'm looking forward to being an aunt one more time. I think that things are getting better for me and my family too. I'm just glad that the crazy drama has ended though. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.